Earth was an overturned piss pot. And he was all alone. And he sat down and he cried. And he is there to this day. All alone. Okay. There's your story. Night-night.
Liza. Shooter. Jeep. Lupe. Liza.
Jeep.
Liza. Shooter.
Liza.
Lupe.
Lupe.
Jeep. Liza. Lupe.
Lupe.
Jeep.
Liza. Jeep.
Liza. Lupe.
Liza. Jeep.
I'm looking forward to my life. I'm looking forward to me. The way I picture me.
Who are you talking to?
I had this room I lived in. Shall I describe this room? I had a wall with a picture of Walt Whitman in an overcoat. Every time I looked at it, I thought of Pennsylvania. I had a picture of an antelope on a yellow prairie. Every time I looked at it, I saw him running. I had a picture of the Golden Gate Bridge. Every time I looked at it, I saw the water underneath it. I had a picture of me sitting on a Jeep with a gun in one hand.
Oh my God, the darky!
It's funny the way the snow is.
Maybe we should read.
We'll have to wait for Liza.
Yeah, but we could be looking for the place. Do you remember where it was?
Here, let me take a look.
Shooter, could you do a soft shoot?
I don't think so.
I was wondering if we can both do it sitting down, without getting up, just our legs.
Like this, you mean?
Yeah,
Was it chapter 16?
Maybe.
just try. Put your hands on the table. 1, 2, 3, quattro. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Get out.
Oh, are we gonna read?
I can't find the place.
Let me take a look.
Shooter lost the place.
I saw this picture of a dancing bear once. Some middle of the road. In the background was this fancy house. Don't act it out.
Where we passed the part where the comet exploded.
You don't have to act it out.
I never saw a dancing bear. That was before my time. I guess they made it illegal. Too cruel or something.
It doesn't feel cruel.
Just humiliating.
It's not the rightful position of a bear.
You can feel it.
It's off balance.
Well, that's what I mean.
What?
That's cruel. For a bear, that's cruel.
No,
It's as though something's expected of me.
it's though I was human.
But it puts me in a different position.
Different situation.
How?
Performing.
Without realizing it.
I mean, I realize it, but the bear doesn't.
He just finds himself doing something unusual for him.
Awkward.
You're not the bear! I found it!
They've returned to Earth only to find that things are exactly the same. Nothing's changed.
That's not it! Let me try. I think I'll take a bath.
The turkey's almost ready.
I'm too scared to eat.
Let her take a bath. It'll calm her down.
Is there any hot water left? There was the last time I was up there. I don't want to go up there alone.
You could remember the last time when you got scared. It might help you this
Well,
time.
I know, but it's the same. It's the snow. Being inside, I mean, everything is so shocking inside. When I look at my hand, I get terrified. The sight of my feet in the bathtub and the skin covering me, that's all that's covering me!
Do you want some?
I remember the last time when I got scared. I thought I'd poisoned myself. I thought I'd eaten something. I imagined it working its way into me. I went outside in my bare feet and I forced myself to throw up. It was that kind of
I remember that night. We were watching the stars.
Oh, yes!
This is ridiculous! I can't find the place! I think there's another one out on the back porch. Shooter, weren't you the last one to read?
Was I?
Yeah, it was you.
Doesn't matter, does it?
Only if you can remember where you left off.
Let me take a look. I'll see if I can find it.
something well. No, I mean, it's all right. It takes a certain amount of courage to bring it out into the open like that.
It's no worse than the one you guys did.
I know. It's just that we have this image in our heads of Judy Garland or Gene Kelly or Fred Astaire. Those feet flying all over the place. That fluid motion. Well, how can we do anything for the first time? Even Nijinsky went nuts.
What about it?
Well, it's hard to have a conversation.
When you're in a position of doing something like that, it's kind of hard to talk about it. I mean, while I was doing it, while I was in the middle of actually doing it, I didn't particularly feel like talking about it. You know what I mean? It made me feel funny. Like someone was watching me, judging me, making a sort of evaluation, chalking up points. I mean, especially the references to all those stars. You know, I mean, I know I'm not as good as Judy Garland, but so what? I wasn't trying to be as good as Judy Garland. It started off like it was just for fun, you know? And then it turned into murder. It was like being murdered. You know what I mean?
Didn't mean to piss you off. I'm not gonna offer to clean that up, because you're already doing it.
When are we gonna eat?
It's almost ready.
We were just about to start the story about the moth throwing herself into the flames.
No!
No. Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Oh. Okay then.
I miss the feeling of being in transit. Of really moving. I mean, I walk back and forth between here and the kitchen all the time, and it's nice to have a change of scene. But it's not like the feeling you get when you're driving in a car or sitting in a bus.
I used to love to fly. I'm not sure I can wait much longer. What's the turkey look like?
Good. The skin is getting nice and crispy.
Then where the hell is it?
I told you, it's almost ready.
That's not good enough. I can't wait another minute.
I'm sorry!
No. Liza, wait. I'm sorry. Liza. Look, I know you're doing the best you can, but all we ever do anymore is wait. It's all we do, and I'm tired of waiting. That's what I mean.
When we used to drive places, we'd drive, we'd wait, and then we'd arrive. Somewhere. I miss the feeling of knowing where I'm going.
I found it! I found it! I found it! Found it! Okay, it was just at this. Where? No. No, that's not the place. That's not the place.
Liza! Can you give me the flask?
sure you want some now? We're just about to eat.
I'm sure.
I left it in the kitchen.
Please.
Okay then.
Shooter, did you find the place yet?
I'm trying.
Well, you better hurry. The turkey's almost ready.
I couldn't take it! Just thumbing through the book like that? Ah, not even looking, not even seeing. Pages, just turning them, just pretending!
I know.
Ah, is that what you're doing? Is that what you're doing right now?
I'm looking for the place.
I admire your concentration. I couldn't concentrate. I kept thinking of the sun. I kept drifting. I kept thinking of the Gulf of Mexico. Barracuda!
That's okay.
I know it's okay. That's not what I'm saying.
Was it just after the fall of the great continent?
Oh, my stomach.
Was it just after the fall of the great continent?
Oh, my stomach.
Dinner is served.
I'll carve.
You'll have to stop doing that. We've only got one chair left. I'll do it. It's okay.
We're lucky to have a turkey, you know.
Yes, I know.
It was smart thinking to raise our own, to see ahead into the crisis like that.
Whose idea was it anyway?
Mine.
I think it was mine.
It was your idea, then I went out and bought it.
That's right.
That's right.
Boy, we sure are lucky. Who killed it anyway?
I did.
I can't find the place. Aren't we gonna have any vegetables?
No, we had a late frost, remember?
We're lucky to have a turkey.
I know we are. I was just wondering about the vegetables. You know, the creamed onions and stuff. The candied yams.
Dark or light?
White.
I've never cooked over an open fire like that before. I mean a big fire, blazing like that. It's hard to keep from cooking yourself. Your arms start roasting. You begin to get afraid the kitchen's gonna burn down.
I can imagine.
The heat is tremendous.
I thought turkeys were supposed to cook slow.
Well, you let the flames die down, and it's just the embers you're cooking on. But the heat!
Hot in here for a change.
Chief, could you get us all some water, please?
Right now?
If you don't mind.
From the well? It's a lot of work, you know. You can't just turn on a tap.
We're lucky to have a turkey.
I know.
It is freezing out there. I do not envy you. Hauling up water, just spilling it on your hands, it's freezing. It's all right. In the dark, just feeling your way around. She might fall in.
We'll hear her.
It's all right, Shooter.
I know it's all right. That's not what I'm saying.
Just because we're surrounded by 4 walls and a roof doesn't mean anything.
It's still dangerous.
The chances of something happening are just as great.
Anything can happen.
Any move is possible.
I've
seen it.
You go outside.
The world's quiet.
White.
Everything resounding.
Not the sound of a motor.
Not a light.
You see into the house.
You see the candles.
You watch the people. You see what it's like inside.
The candles draw you.
You get a cold feeling being outside.
Separated.
You have an idea that inside it's cozier,
Friendlier.
warmth, people, conversation.
Everyone using a language.
Then you go inside.
It's a shock!
It's not like how you expected.
You lose what you had outside.
You forget there even was an outside.
The inside is all you know.
You hunt for a way of being with everyone.
A way of finding how to behave.
You find out what's expected of you. You act yourself out.
Someone should go check on her.
Not me.
I'll go.
Can you give me the flask?
I don't have it.
You had it last.
Did I?
I'm pretty sure you did.
I did? It's funny, you'd think I'd remember something like that.
Yeah, you would.
I don't know, Liza. There's so much to remember. I spend so much time trying to remember things that sometimes I think I've remembered myself out.
And some things are simply lost.
We're lucky to have a turkey.
No, it's...
She's okay. She'll be here soon.
Some things get lost. But at the same time, we're accumulating all these intangible things like luck and memories.
What happens if we lose those things too?
Then all we'll be left with is us.
In the dark?
The dark's not so bad. I mean, when it's light, we always feel like we have to be doing something. When it's dark, you get time to think. When it's dark, you see the stars.
You can depend on the dark. It's always there. Even when it leaves, you can always count on it coming back.
I'm scared of the dark. It's an abyss.
There's one chair left.
There's one chair left.
I'll get it.
Dark or light, Chief?
White. You know, I was thinking, if things get worse, we should get a cow. Nobody's selling. You've asked around? Nobody's selling.
You know, I was thinking chickens might be better.
Nobody's selling! That's all right.
You know, a goat might be good.
We'll have to do the best with what we've got. We're eating now. At least we're eating.
Forgot what it was I went for. I got out there and forgot.
The chair.
Oh yeah, chair. The chair.
Chair. The chair.
Chair. It doesn't really matter. I'm okay on the floor.
I made a move to go get it, but he beat me to it.
It doesn't matter.
Was he being polite?
I guess.
But he's getting the chair for Jeep, and Jeep doesn't even care.
It's all right.
Walt Whitman was a great man. He kissed soldiers, he held their hands, he saw mounds of amputated limbs.
I don't know anything about him.
He expected something from America. He had this great expectation.
Do you want some help with that?
No, it's for the Almost 100 years ago to the day, the same thing happened. Everybody at each other's throats. Walt was there, he could tell you. okay here. You don't want it? But don't you want it? Yep, this is the life. Now I'm glad I went through all of that.
Aren't you hungry?
Nope, I am glad.
Time to clean up.
Shooter, you want some water? There's plenty of water.
Nope. This is it for me. I am never leaving this chair. I have finally found it.
I'm gonna get some water. I'd be glad to get you a cup if you'd like.
Hey, she just said she doesn't want it.
Shooter, you remember when you were scared? Shooter, you remember? Oh, Shooter!
No, I don't remember that. Better believe that. People are washing dishes now. Lupe's looking for the place again. Things are rolling right along. Why bring that up?
Wasn't it around where the spaceship collided with the neutron?
Shooter, I remember. I remember you were so scared you couldn't go up to take a bath.
No. That's not me at all. That's entirely the wrong image. That must have been an accident.
Oh,
I've never been afraid to take a bath. I've always been brave in those situations. I have plunged right in.
oh, I thought it was you.
I knew a guy once who was afraid to take a bath. He stank to high heaven. High heaven? That's a good one. So he stank. Boy, did he stink. Boy, did he ever stink.
Was it the water?
Yeah, the water. Something about the way it distorted his body when you looked down into it.
Then it wasn't the water.
Yeah, the water, the way it warped his body.
But that was the way he saw it.
That was him, not the water.
Then he began to fear his own body.
From that?
From seeing it in the water.
He began to feel like a foreign spy, spying on his own body. He'd lie awake at night, afraid that one day his body might do something to him without him knowing. He'd keep watch on it.
Was he a close friend?
I knew him for a while.
What happened to him?
His body killed him. One day he just had enough and killed him.
What happened to the body?
It's still walking around, I guess.
Liza, can you bring me the flask?
Remember the days of mass entertainment?
No.
This could never have happened then. Something to do every minute. Always something to do. I was once very active in the community.
What's a community?
What's a community, Shooter?
You know, you're on the right track.
Something,
I know.
yeah, you know, it doesn't need words.
I know what you mean.
Just a kind of feeling.
I know what you mean.
I think we're beginning to get it a little, you know, to get it back. I mean, you can feel it, even in the depth of winter, sort of, I don't know, everybody helping each other out.
I've about had it with this bucket. I can't figure out what we've been doing here all this time.
How deep is our well anyways?
How long have I been standing here?
Don't know.
I'm not standing up here because I'm afraid of fish. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, I was standing up here before the fish even arrived.
It's just a coincidence.
Not the way it looks.
Ugh. Shooter, could you create some reason for me to move?
Some justification for me to find myself somewhere else.
Only if you promise.
But you're not thinking.
That I'm afraid of fish.
Just because I'm up here on the chair.
And there happens to be a fish in the house.
Ah!
I'm not thinking about you.
Go and pick up the fish.
Go and put the fish on the table.
Take your jackknife out of your pocket.
Open your jackknife.
The big blade.
Slice open the belly of the fish
Starting at the pee hole.
and cutting towards the head.
Now clean it like you would any other fish.
We should save the bones for soup.
The table is littered with carcasses.
Guts.
Bones.
The inside.
Who are you talking to?
I'm
Swimming in it. It's nobody's fault, you know.
We can't help eating.
We'll eat till our dying day.
Remember that story about the body shooter?
The empty one?
Yeah.
That was an interesting story.
Thank you.
How'd it get started?
Who knows? One day, it just developed. One day he just found himself like that.
Did he suspect his body of treason?
Was that it?
I'm not sure.
It was a touchy situation.
He must have had a hard time.
I mean, he couldn't reach out.
I mean, he wouldn't expect anyone to be in the same boat, probably.
Probably not.
Well, it is rare.
Was it a particular time of hardship?
I
can't rightly say.
I mean, were things crumbling?
I suspect he couldn't see it.
I mean, I suspect he had his ideas.
You know, his opinions.
Certain stiff attitudes. When was this?
And this body's still walking around.
That's right.
A walking stick.
Can anyone tell?
I mean, if we ran into this body, could we tell it was vacant?
I'm not sure.
Well, how could you tell?
There must be a way.
I mean, something must be missing.
You could tell if he wasn't all there.
I don't know.
How?
How could you tell?
You know!
I'd know.
I mean, with us, we know.
No.
We hear each other.
We hear our voices.
We know each other's voice.
We can see.
We recognize each other.
We have a certain.
We can tell who's who.
We know our names.
respond.
We call each other.
We sort of.
We're not completely stranded like that.
I mean,
It's not.
It's not like that.
How that would be.
I was.
moving now.
I
I was shocking myself. I couldn't stop.
Everything disappeared.
I had no idea what the world was.
I
had no idea how I got there, or why, or who did it.
I had no references for this.